I think it's actually pretty dope. I think Josh Hart's a cool ass guy. And I originally said Josh Hart should be the starter, but I'll admit I succumbed to a bunch of Portland Trailblazers fans who were like,
"No, we need to start Nazir Little. Nazir Little's got like a 7-foot plus wingspan. Nazir Little's an athletic freak, so we're gonna start Nazir Little because he's going into the fourth year of his third year or fourth year. I don't even know, but the North Carolina man." And I said, you know what, you kind of convinced me that Nazir Little should be the guy. But what I've realized is, I thought of it a good idea because Anthony Simons is probably starting and Josh Hart can score. But now I think of it, we've talked about this. Anthony Simons is probably starting for 2 to 5 minutes and then running to the bench. And I think Josh Hart, Jeremy Grant, and Gary Payton II gives them 3 guys that just shore up the perimeter and, gives them a lot of two-way ability. I think this team is really looking at two-way. And I know Nazir Little, in theory, has two-way ability. It's just the offensive game is nowhere near the offensive game Josh Hart has shown.
Yeah. I'm hoping Nazir takes that jump here because he shot 33% from downtown. I actually just made a Blazers video right before I went live to talk about this a little bit more. Josh Hart, I think when we're looking at the Blazers and I'm making my starting lineup, because I was coming around, I think I was giving you Nazir Little propaganda as far as him starting as well. But, looking at it, I think if I'm a coach, right, I'm trying to put the best 5 guys in my starting lineup. So this makes sense. I think the Blazers defense will be much improved. I need them to be a top 20 at least defensive team. That's where my only issues rely. I read an article on The Athletic that predicted them in the 11th seed at 36-46. I think that's ridiculous. I think several injuries would have to occur. When we look at the Blazers starting lineup, quick fun question for you. Who do you think has the longest wingspan on the Blazers top 5?
Like out of Jeremy Grant, Damian Lillard, Josh Hart, and Anthony Simons. And okay, the answer that I want to say is Jeremy Grant, but I feel like because you're asking me, it's Anthony Simons.
No, Anthony Simons, just like Josh Hart, they actually have 6'9" wingspans, which is
wait. Anthony Simons 6'3" with a 6'9" wingspan and just sucks at defense.
I don't like that word, but yeah.
Okay.
Jeremy Grant was the correct answer. 7'3" wingspan, Jeremy Grant. So I really like the switchability with Josh Hart and Jeremy Grant, and I also like that Jeremy Grant is such a versatile defender where he can also switch on to guards. You also have Gary Payton, who shot 36% from downtown last season, which blew my mind. He's a career 32% three-point shooter, shot 36 from downtown last year.
I think he's closer to 34%, but I think 36 is asking for a lot. I think if you can shoot 34, it's good, but continue.
100%. Yeah, it just blew my mind that Gary Payton shot 36% from downtown last season, because that was like the one. His height is the main nitpick, but that was like the other nitpick. So I just like the versatility that they've brought in on defense. And I think that, have you been watching Olivier Sarr as well?
The Frenchman from Kentucky?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Olivier Sarr played for the Thunder last year. Yes, I'm well aware. I also think he played for the Orlando Magic a little bit. And go.
He's 7 feet, and he shot 46% from downtown. And 2 nights ago against the Sacramento Kings in preseason, off the bench in like 20 minutes, he had 4 blocks. So,
yeah, I mean,
I love this Portland Trailblazers team, man. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. What's up, Aaron?
He did not play for the Orlando Magic. It was only OKC, and then he played for Portland. But yeah, this guy played for Wake Forest, and then he played for Kentucky. And he was a guy that in his last year in college, I know limited attempts from 3, shot 44%. And his father played professionally in France. His brother played for Real Madrid at a youth level. He comes from a basketball lineage. And Olivier Sarr is 23 years old. And the real reason is why he was undrafted coming out of college is because he played 4 years. And you didn't 100% know what he was. Like, he's always shown to be a decent rim protector, but he was never the strongest rebounder. And, that's still a question with the rebounding. But I do very much like Olivier Sarr. And I don't think he's going to, he'll back up Drew Eubanks. They need a third big man. But Drew Eubanks basically averaged a double-double. Drew Eubanks got that backup job under locks. They gave him a multi-year contract.
Yeah,
they gave him a multi-year deal. You know,
Drew Eubanks can't protect my rim, and he can't play defense enough for me. So I think that Sar will, not be ahead of Eubanks necessarily, but I still think you're going to give him 15 if he's playing like how he is right now, which would be really good for Sar, and he can work his way up. I'm just saying as far because I don't like Nurkic on the defensive end. I think he's soft at times, and I think he's very exposable, just like Nikola Jokic in the playoffs. So I'm glad that they have the versatility as far as that goes.
I just want to say Drew Eubanks, okay, Drew Eubanks is with the Portland Trailblazers was not that bad, I'd like to say, okay, and can actually play defense. He was a guy who was averaging I know he wasn't averaging a block game, but about a steal game. I know he's not protecting the rim, but he's going to come out there and hit threes for you. And I know it's not a great clip, but he'll shoot 1 or 2 threes. I think Oliver Sarr could push Drew Eubanks and make him expendable. I'm just biased on Drew Eubanks because I've just seen him develop. But I think the real thing with Josh Hart is Josh Hart being the starting lineup proves the point that Anthony Simons is still going to technically be the 6th man because he's probably going to play 2 5 minutes and come off. Because I think the floor is Anthony Simons' floor is what he is right now, a 17 points per game secondary scorer that, I wonder if they're going to make him play some point and have Damian Lillard play some off-ball shooting and to keep up the efficiency and preserve his body more that way. Yeah. And I also could see him developing into a better version of CJ McCollum as a better 3-point shooter and a slasher with less of a mid-range. Don't get me wrong, CJ's awesome, but the one thing that CJ's, if his mid-range ain't hitting, it's not the best. Now, his ceiling's an all-star, borderline all-NBA player. I don't think he'll ever be an MVP or an all-star, but I could see him going on to a third-team all-NBA and being a guy who could average 30 points per game. I mean, this guy was one of the first guys to come out directly from high school since Jermaine O'Neal, and he's only 22 years old, heading into his 5th season in the NBA. So he could,
but yeah, same tomato. Sorry,
it's his 4th season.
Oh, I'll stat check it. 3rd season.
4th season.
5th season, you're right.
Yeah, 5th season. Yeah, because
it's unreal.
What, me?
Well, yeah, you too, but that's crazy. Anthony Simons is 22, entering his 5th year.
Yeah, because he went from IMG, he went to Edgewater High School, then he went to IMG.
Shadon Sharp didn't play in college. He's a bust. Shadon Sharp didn't play in college, so he's a bust.
Well, I don't get this. This is something that I don't understand. Is Shadon Sharp was still a lottery pick. Anthony Simons was actually he was originally going to go to Louisville, but then that whole scandal happened, and then he decided to go. And Anthony Simons was the 10th, top 10, number 10 in his class. 10 and 9 was where he was ranked by the 3 places. And one may argue that Anthony Simons' first 2 seasons was kind of and he was taking 24th overall, and you were just sitting there is Anthony Simons ready? But then in his 3rd year, you started to see him play. He actually played less minutes than his 2nd year, and you're like, okay, Anthony Simons, okay. You're starting to figure it out. And then this year, as soon as we started to see it when Dame was healthy, but then as soon as Dame got hurt, it was just it was the Anthony Simons show. He dropped that 43 points with 9 3-pointers and that 136 to 131 win over the Hawks. That was fucking legit.
Yep. He's ready. He had a Poole-esque ascension that nobody really talks about except for Blazer fans.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think I've said it all offseason. I thought Jordan Poole was going to get Anthony Simons money or Jalen Brunson money, but now it's seeming like you might get RJ Barrett money, which is unreal. Shout out to all 13 people watching, and we appreciate it. But appreciate it for 1,000 subscribers on this collaborative channel. Yeah, so it means the world. You want to move subjects, switch subjects? Guess who's on the radar for the Dallas Mavericks?
Facu Campazzo.
Facundo